Ushaijiuliza why most of the times pretty girls are single? Like dem rembo kabisa, dem hata ukimwendea kama mwanaume, you almost think that this lady probably ako in a relationship, but they are single. You see, but yet ni mrembo. Unajiuliza swali kama hiyo, why are they still single? Like why do they end up single? Na unapata some can even go to up to 35, 40. Na mse bado wako single. Probably they don't even have a kid just because they are pretty. So why is that? All right? So me, I'd like to think of it from this perspective. Sometimes unapata because a lady is pretty, anakuwa bad at communication. Number one, why? Because of entitlement. Anaona mimi mrembo, so I'm the prize here. So wewe kama mwanaume, wewe ni ushindange either umeni call ama umeni text. But you see, in this age ama this generation that tunaishi sahi, it's not applicable. Sahi hakuna mwanaume mwenye atachase a lady for too long. Atakuchase maybe first month, second month, akiona uko na maringo mob ama you're bad at communication, he will leave you, okay? Because now we have options. That's the truth. Hiyo ndio reality sahi, kuna options mob sana for men. So you see, a guy, even if hata kama dem ni mrembo aje, hata shinda amekaa hapo, especially akifeel this person is not even good at communicating, ama una feel so much entitled. So every time you think that the guy ni anafaa kuwa akikutafuta, wewe huwezi mtafuta because you think that probably now you have that pretty privilege. The other thing also is pretty girls forget that bado wanazeeka. Yeah, you're pretty now, but in the next few years you may not be as pretty as you are right now. So you might think that wacha nitalenga huyu, kwani si nitapata tu mwanaume mwingine, which is also another point that, you know, don't think that atijueni mrembo at you will always have a man for you. There will always be men and there will always be ladies, but not every person wants to settle down. Not every person wants to have a serious thing. Not every person wants to go to marriage. So if you're the kind of lady, you are pretty, but then you are brushing off every other guy mwenye anakuja mwenye anakaa serious ama mwenye ako serious, thinking that probably you are too young ama bado uko na miaka zitasonga mbio sana. You will wake up one day, I always say it, utaenda kufungua macho siku moja and you realize you are 30. By the time una blink tena unaanza kusema sijui ni nini, you are 35. By the time una blink tena you are 40. And guess what? You are single, you don't have a kid, and yet you are 40. Na hiyo urembo yako yote, you see? So it's very interesting to see that some ladies think that Juliani mrembo, you know, they will always have options, and that's my third point. Sawa, unaweza kuwa na options, but you see, you have to remember not everyone is willing to settle down. So sometimes I feel like guys are more ready to compromise more than ladies, especially pretty ladies. But then before the mrembo a compromise on a guy, probably he's probably hako hapo yet, maybe he's not that handsome, una get. And we all say as men tunakuwa handsome sisi wote, by the way. Si atunanga hiyo ati ya kujigauge ati sijui this guy is more handsome than this guy. Of course maybe as guys tuna noticing ule chali anapita nao sana, but hakunanga hiyo. So when it comes to you as a pretty lady and choosing a man, imagine just choose ule mwanaume mwenye amekupe attention, ule mwanaume mwenye at least amekupenda na amekuonesha effort. Because if you think that now because you are this pretty girl, sasa na wewe unataka kutafuta this handsome guy ndio mkue, ndio mkue like a king and a queen mkue, unaweza pata, by the way, sisemi uwezi pata, but then don't don't like be the kind of person mwenye you are pushing away real genuine guys for an imagination or for an idea that you have about the kind of person that you're supposed to settle down with. And I know inakuja from pressure ya society inakwambia when ni dem mrembo unafaa kuwa na chali handsome, and maybe every time you're thinking na sasa nikisettle na mwanaume wase watasemaje, is this guy handsome enough for me? By the madem na kwa na mashida mingi. But that's what I'll say, that you ina contribute pia to ladies being single. This idea of kusema ati dem rembo hakati yangwi ama wanaume wanogopanga kukatia madem rembo, that's a lie, So either you are closed off, wanaume hawakuoni so they can't get to you, hawezi kukatia, or number 2, you are so much entitled that hata mwanaume akitoka from nowhere akuja kukatia, you almost feel like lazima akuwe amefikisha checklist yako, mark everything on your checklist, and that doesn't work. The other thing also inafanyanga madem wakuwe single, pretty girls wabaki single, ni the peer pressure that comes from probably their friends, because mabeshto yake namwambia ai ochali uko sure ni type yako, you know, so everyone else is trying to convince you si type yako, but at the end of the day unajua yeye ni amekuja kukatia, so you are the one who is supposed to make that decision, not your friends. So sasa utaachaje mtu ati juma beshto wako amekupiga peer pressure anakuambia huyo msesi wa ligi yako sijui nini. Imagine sometimes you'll have to compromise, and guys compromise a lot. By the way, wanaume tunakuanga ready ku compromise. So even for you pretty ladies, you have to get to that point and realize, especially kama miaka yako imesonga, imagine lazima compromise, ujue sasa okay, unataka mwanaume anakaa aje. All right? The other thing also, because they feel they are pretty, they're not the kind of ladies who will talk to men. Hawata initiate conversation. So you're always in a room, every guy is looking at you and they're wondering, okay, udem ako single, udem ako in a relationship, but because you do not initiate the conversation, a guy can't even come and talk to you. You know, saa zingine when guys are doubting you, ama when you get a sense that wase wanashindwa kuku approach, you should be the person wenye you start a conversation. And I've met ladies like that wenye like they're so pretty, but in the room yendie ako more, you know, you can feel they're more bubbly, you can feel they're more open to conversations, because maybe they've learned akijinyamazia ama akisimama always in their corner, nobody is willing to talk to them, because maybe anaogopa kulengwa. And you see, most guys might think jueni mrembo, it's obvious that utaringa. Hata kama hauna maringo, a guy might think udem ni mrembo sana, obviously udem anaweza kuwa na maringo, and maybe it's not like that. So because they cannot know, you need to be the person that initiates conversation. So if you're not the kind of lady mwenye uko ready ku initiate conversation, unapata before uongeleshwe na mwanaume, like it takes such a long time. You might also be the kind of person uko social media but hujibingi DM, and yet uko 25, you are heading to 26, 27, yani miaka yako ni kusonga inasonga, but you are not putting any initiative or make any initiative. So how do you think you're going to find men? Ama how do you think you're going to end up in a relationship kama you're not doing you're not making an initiative? How take the step even as a lady? Another thing also you need to know ni pretty girls wanakuanga na bad judgment, okay? So because for them sasa wako na ile expectation ya anafaa kukatiwa na mwanaume, maybe ako na gari, mwanaume ako na job poa nini, and some of those men who have those things, some of them they don't want anything serious. Maybe hata ako na mtu wake pahali, lakini juu anaona umekuwa impressed na the things that he has, material things, juu umekuwa impressed na the material things, anaona wacha nipite na udem, because mwanaume atapiga hesabu yake haraka one udem kumbe amebambika na hizi vitu. And a guy will always know, he will always know when you know umebambika na gari yake, ama what he has, ama the kind of probably the money that he's making. Anaona kuna venye unakuwa impressed by those things. Imagine mwanaume atakubali tu kupita na wewe. So sometimes I feel like bad judgment inafanyanga pretty girls wabaki single, because now you enter a relationship with this guy, or you start something with this guy, and then 2 months down the line he breaks up with you. Una realize kumbe alikuwa nakutumia, even wengine even 1 year, and then it takes you then another 2 years to heal. So miaka bado inasonga, 2 years ya kuheal bado ni miaka inasonga. So you wake up one day and you're 30 years old, you are the most prettiest girl in the room, but unashindwa, why are you still single? How come all your friends are married and you are not? The last thing I'll say, so hiyo ilikuwa bad judgment. The other thing I'll say ni ati ikikam niyo story ya high expectations, pretty girls now wanakuanga wametake, you know, hao ndo wanakuanga wametake the award for that. Like pretty girls have high expectations, and I know most of them wataanza na kukuambia mimi hata sinanga nini mingi, sinanga expectations mob. Anza tu kuongea nao and you'll hear the kind of expectations wanaanza kukuonesha. Anaanza kuambia nataka kufanyiwe, nataka kufanyiwe. First of all, if you realize you're a pretty girl, yani when ni demrembo, you need to have your own money, okay? You need to be independent. Lazima uoneshe mwanaume, by the way, me I'm not here because of your money, I'm here juu nataka kupendwa. And sometimes I don't know if girls communicate that effectively. Ile unaonesha msee, mimi siko hapa juu ya vitu zako, niko hapa juu I want someone who can truly show me love and show me attention. So it's very important for you to always be clear, what do you want, okay? Uko na expectations ni sawa, but when you put your expectations on material things, you know, you kind of either turn off a guy, ama a guy thinks maybe you're just like the rest. Okay, so it's very important, even as a pretty lady, first of all, put yourself out there. Don't take too long to heal. Take too long, useme ati take 3 years to heal. Miaka ni kusonga inasonga. If you are 20, 3 years down the line utakuwa 23, 24. So you need to be very conscious about it. So if you're a pretty girl, may I wish you the very best, but it's very important for you to put yourself out there and to always know that maybe you might have to compromise on a few expectations that you have, that you expect to see in men.
Gachin Lion!